Hello and welcome to your Club Everton Daily. The date is Sunday, the 8th of January 2012. And we're going to structure today's daily a bit different because we're going to talk about something first, then we're going to do the news, and after that we're going to have a look at the transfer gossip. Not going into too much detail in today's daily, obviously, because we're recording our main podcast this week, Club Everton Radio. At the end of today's daily, we're going to give you details on how you can get involved. But for now, let's start off with the announcement that we're going to make at the start, which is it's not related to something that we're doing presently. It's just something that we want to say. Which we've not said on this channel before. But as anyone who's been following our podcast knows, we've been off the air since about the end of October, start of November. A couple of reasons for that. Some of the less insignificant ones are a couple of episodes that we recorded a week after the last one that appeared on iTunes that didn't work, be it for technical issues or just the things failing to record or whatever. Sadly though, the main reason why the podcast ended up being postponed was due to the very tragic news regarding our Club Evertonian of the Year last year, Emily Cowan. Anyone who's been following Club Everton for a while will know Emily's story. She's the daughter of Pete Cowan, aka Born Blue, who appeared on the last panel-based podcast that was posted up on iTunes. Emily, in May of 2010, was diagnosed with Wilms tumour, which is a rare form of cancer affecting the kidneys. I think, sadly, you can see where this one's going. We received the news not long after that last podcast went out that Emily had passed away as a result of her disease. Obviously, the outpouring of emotion from the community was massive and very heartfelt. And I'm sure people have said this already, but everyone who's left a tribute to Pete and his family, his wife Jackie and his daughter Sophie, I'm sure they all meant a lot to the family. Pete, and speaking of Pete and Jackie and Sophie, they've all been very, very strong, and they conducted themselves extremely well given the circumstances. I know a couple of lads went down to Dorset, where Pete lives, to attend Emily's funeral. Again, just well done to them for being able to make it down there. Pete actually came up to Liverpool during the Christmas holidays for to come and see the Everton matches and to enjoy a night out with members of the community. I did get to meet him, albeit very briefly, but he's just been a credit to himself and to Emily and to basically the rest of his family as well. So just want to say, just once again pass on my condolences for Pete and his family, and just say a massive thank you to everyone, be it members of Club Everton Forum, people who left comments on the site when we posted the article up, or people who posted comments on our social media sites when they found out the news as well. All of those comments, however insignificant that you might think they may have been, I'm sure they meant a lot. So just thanks to everyone who left us a comment, who left a message to Pete and to Jackie and to Sophie and to the rest of the Cowan family. And again, we'd like to pass our condolences to Pete, to Jackie, to Sophie and to the rest of Emily's family. Can't imagine what they've been going through the last few months. Okay, so there's a bit of a somber start to proceedings, but we really did well get that statement out somehow. Okay, so we'll discuss the news then following the match against Tamworth. Obviously, we're not going to talk too much about the game itself. We're going to save that for the podcast recording, which is coming up later on. So, news coming out of the Tamworth game. Well, first of all, excuse me, Seamus Coleman sustained an injury during that match. So we're going to have yet another player who we're waiting on to see how long he's going to be out injured for. We received news that Phil Jagielka is going to be out for 6 weeks. It's going to be very difficult to cope with the rate of injuries that we're sustaining at the moment, especially given how thin the squad is and how unlikely it looks that we're going to make any additions to it. I think the big news out of Tamworth match, though, which you're probably not going to see in the media, is a couple of Blue Union protesters confronted Bill Kenwright as he was parking up outside Goodison before the game, asking questions about finances and players and whatnot. Bill Kenwright responded to the comments and the questions by basically coming over to the lads and saying that the Blue Union had betrayed the club. And as you can imagine, the Blue Union and supporters have all reacted very angrily to Bill Kenwright's comments. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of news coming out from Blue Union sources regarding their stance on Bill's words. The final bit of news coming out from that Tamworth game is well, there's nothing else really without going into detail on what happened in the game, and we're going to save that for our podcast recording, and we're going to tell you how you can get involved in that now in our feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Okay, so today is the recording session for the next episode of Club Everton Radio, our official podcast. By official podcast, we mean not like a daily format like this. It's actually going on iTunes, and who knows how long it's going to last. We've got the freedom for it to last however long we want it to. Basically, the format for the podcast is we have a set list of topics that we're going to discuss. Again, no time limit as to how long we can discuss them for. We can go into as much depth as we want to, or we can just, gloss over things if we want to. Although, why you gloss over things, I don't know. The list of stuff that we're going to be talking about is going to be Gary Speed and Gary Ablett, Everton memories. Sure to be an interesting topic. We're mentioning both Gary Speed and Gary Ablett because obviously we've been off the air for a long time, and we've not really heard any reaction to Gary Speed's death either. Then we're going to discuss the Bolton match. We're going to discuss the Tamworth match as well. We're going to talk about Landon Donovan, the fanfare around his return and what impact his return can have on the squad. And to round off, we're going to talk about Suarez Gate. Yes, we've got to. It's been a while since we've wound up our neighbours on this podcast. But we're going to talk about Suarez Gate, the incident itself, and the reaction from Liverpool fans to both the event itself, the ruling from the independent panel, and the release of these statements made during the inquiry. So that's what we're going to be talking about. How you can get involved in it, or this is how you do it. First of all, the key point here is you need to be a member of the forum. So if you're not already, you can register at clubeverton.co.uk/forum. Link will be in the description. Once you're in there, if you go to Big Dunk's pitching off. There'll be a thread in there called Club Everton Radio episode 37. That has all the details you'll need for the recording, which takes place in the live chat room, which you won't see when you first sign in, because it's only opened when it's being used, i.e. for podcast recordings or live chat quizzes. God, sorry, you're getting bad memories as the last one. But anyway, once that room is opened, you'll be able to click. You'll get set up in there, and all you need is a microphone that will work on your computer. So just any old USB mic will do, any analog mic that you can just plug into the sound card of your computer. The one I'm using is my Microsoft headset, which anyone who's on the forum will be very familiar with, seeing as I've never seemed to have it off apparently. But even a bog standard like £3 to £4 mic out of the Asda will do for this. Once you got that, you'll have an hour to get stuff set up. So we'll open the room an hour before the recording begins. The recording's going to start at 9 o'clock tonight, which is probably good because there's no match of the day to interrupt, to deter people away. Excuse me. Once the recording starts, well, that's it. You just talk about it, and that's your role done. I'm going to be the one who's left to edit the file and whatnot. Again, though, there have been issues in the past with the recording, so hopefully we can get through this one without incidents. But don't bank on it. So yeah, that's how you get involved in the podcast. It's basically join the forum, go to the forum, enter the live chat room, make sure your microphone's working, you're in. And even if you don't want to, appear on the podcast, you don't want to have a speaking role, there's a lot of people who just come in and just watch and type messages into the chat box in the live chat room, and that can sometimes fuel discussion. Another feature about the podcast recordings is each week we have a different closing event. We're not going to have one this week because we've got a lot of ground to cover and we reckon it's going to run long anyway. But examples of some of the stuff that has happened is we've had questions from the people in the chat room. We've had lightning round, which is a quite popular one. One we're bringing in is dramatic Rourke readings, where people taking part will have a look around Rourke, find some of the most ridiculous posts made, and then read them out in a dramatic fashion. And what's the other one? Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't remember off the top of my head for now, but I'll put it somewhere. Probably tell you tomorrow. But we do stuff like that at the end, just to make it a bit fun. So yeah, that's how you get involved in the podcast recordings. So don't forget to come around the forum at some point tonight if you're interested in taking part. It's open to everyone, by the way. The only criteria is that you're a blue, that you're an Evertonian before any Man City fans come on trying to take the piss. Alright, so we'll close off. The fact that we have time. No, I don't think we do have time actually to go over the transfer gossip. We'll do that tomorrow. It's not really that important anyway. There's nothing Everton related. So, thanks a lot for paying attention to us. Before we go, we'll let you know how you can get in touch with us on our social media sites. First of all, you can find us on Facebook. Go to Facebook, search for Club Everton. You'll find us there. We're also on Twitter at twitter.com/Club Everton. Is our handle. Again, search for us, you'll find us there, or just type in twitter.com/Club Everton. And we're also on Google Plus. Go to Google Plus and search for Club Everton. That's the only way you can do it, really. We're also on iTunes, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Links to both are below. And that's about it. We're about to run out of time, so I'll just quickly say thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow. And we'll see you later for our main podcast as well. So thanks for listening. See you next time.